Hello everyone. Thank you all for joining our ESL program New Student Orientation today. We welcome every one of you to join our program and be a student at Ivy College. In today's orientation, we will be going over important information related to your study, your F1 visa status, and do's and don'ts. You will have time in the end to ask any questions you may have. Also, you will be given a copy of this orientation file to review later as well. Alright, let's get started. One academic year consists of 4 quarters. Each quarter consists of 10 weeks of study and 3 weeks of break. Within the 10 weeks of study, attendance as an international student must be between 80 to 100%. One of the minimum requirements to pass your class is meeting 80% attendance. Attending full 2.5 days is required to have 100% of attendance. If you miss any class, plan to make it up on Friday as soon as possible. Don't wait. Here is the agenda for today. We will go over the school policy, keeping your F1 status, details about what you need to remember to maintain your status, your ESL program, registration, and important deadlines. Then, we will talk about your annual vacation, followed by student services, contacts, and hours. Here is the list of school policies and they are pretty much self-explanatory. First and foremost, drug-free workplace and campus policy. We are a drug-free campus, and this means that you are prohibited from using or bringing any drugs on or near campus. Second and third are sexual and racial harassment policies. As you may all know, we have a diverse group of students from various parts of the world bringing different cultures and backgrounds. We want to be very careful about what we say and express to other classmates, staff, and faculty at our college. We want to always treat each other with respect, and we want to make sure no one is offended by any sexual or racial harassment. Again, our school policy will not tolerate sexual or racial harassment of any kind. The last 2 policies are fairly simple. Use of technology means you are not allowed to use your smartphones or laptop or computers during your class without permission from your faculty. Unless you are asked to partake in activities using these technologies, we want you to be respectful and attentive to your lectures by not using any of these technologies without permission. Last but not least is the textbook policy. We want to make sure that you all have your textbooks by the 2nd week of class. Another important policy for you to remember. Smoking is not allowed on school campus at all times. Alright. Let's talk about the attendance policy. This is one of the most important policies for you as an F1 international student. So, make sure you understand and follow this policy 100%. Attendance is taken at the beginning of every class. If you want to be marked present, you must arrive no later than 15 minutes after the start of the scheduled class. If you arrive more than 15 minutes later after the start of the scheduled class, you will be marked tardy. And keep in mind that if you get 3 tardies, you will be marked as 1 absence. Absent, this is when you arrive more than 30 minutes after the start of the scheduled class. Also, if you leave before the class is concluded by your faculty, you will get an absence for that day. Make sure you follow all your instructions and attend until you are dismissed. As an F1 student, you must meet at least 80% of your attendance. Here is a class schedule breakdown chart to give you a general idea. For morning classes, you will be marked present if you arrive by 8:15 a.m. If you arrive between 8:16 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., you will be marked tardy. Please note that 3 tardies equal 1 absence. If you arrive after 8:30 a.m., you will be marked absent, even if you show up. Leaving earlier than scheduled class time will also be marked absent. For afternoon classes, you will be marked present if you arrive by 1:15 p.m. If you arrive between 1:16 p.m. and 1:30 p.m., you will be marked tardy. And again, please note that 3 tardies equal 1 absence. If you arrive after 1:30 p.m., you will be marked absent, even if you show up. Leaving earlier than scheduled class time will also be marked absent. Please plan your study schedule wisely. To help you understand better, please see the table. Depending on your level, you will be placed in a course to attend at least for 2 full days between Monday and Thursday to have 80% attendance. To have 100% attendance, you must take the Friday makeup class. Let's say your regular classes are scheduled on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Friday. That is a total of 5 courses in 2.5 days. If you take all 5 classes on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, then you will have 100% of attendance. If you only attend 4 classes out of 5 per week, you will have 80% of attendance. Let's say you miss 1 class on Tuesday afternoon due to an emergency. This will make your attendance below 80%, which doesn't meet the requirement to pass your class. To keep the minimum attendance requirement, you must take at least 4 classes per week. In this case, you need to take the Friday makeup class to make the attendance up to 80%. We always recommend students to take all 5 classes offered per week to prevent any unexpected absences in the future. In conclusion, your attendance is one of the most important things you must keep monitoring and maintaining successfully. Let's go over the classroom policies that you need to follow. Arrive on time. Please ensure you arrive before the class begins to avoid any disruption to the learning environment. Be respectful, treat your peers, instructors, and the classroom space with consideration. No disruptions. This includes talking out of turn, using non-learning related electronic devices, or any behavior that distracts others. Respect the break time. Please adhere to the designated break times and return promptly to continue the session without delay. No eating inside the classroom. To keep the classroom clean and free from distractions, eating is not allowed during class. Please consume food during breaks or outside the classroom. Mobile devices for learning purposes only. Mobile devices should be used strictly for educational activities during class time. Bring the book for class. It is essential to bring the required textbook or any other necessary materials to every class session. Actively participate. Make sure to focus and participate during classes for participation grade. Academic probation. When students fail a course, they are allowed to repeat the course in the following quarter. A course/level may be repeated once per course. If a student does not show any progress after the first repeat, the student can be placed on academic probation. If a student does not show any progress during the academic probation period, the school will cancel the student status. Academic probation. As I mentioned earlier, you will need to make a good satisfactory academic progress each and every quarter. So what does this mean for ESL students? If you fail a course, you must repeat and pass it the second time. 70% is a passing score, and you must get a passing score by the second time you take a course. Now, let's talk about grades. For the ESL program, the grade is reflected as a pass or fail. If you get 70% or above, you will get a pass for the quarter. If you get a grade below 70, you will be marked F for the quarter and need to repeat a level. In the case you fail a course, you will be given an academic warning. Therefore, you must do your best to pass all the classes. So, what does passing a course mean? This means you have at least 80% attendance, quizzes, assignments, participation, midterm and final exams, and projects, in all classes. Please note that submitting assignments or taking tests doesn't mean that you will automatically receive a good grade. Just because you are present in your class does not mean you get a grade automatically. Grades are given based on the quality of your work. Thus, please always give your best effort in all of your assignments, quizzes, or midterm and final exams, as well as in-class participation. Here is the breakdown of the evaluation methods. You are essentially evaluated in 3 categories. Assignments, quizzes, and in-class participation take up 40% of your grades. Midterm exam and final exam each take 30% of your grades. Now, please remember that if you do not meet the attendance requirement, which is 80%, you will automatically receive an F. This means that your attendance is mandatory, and if you fail to maintain your attendance, you will not be able to get any grades even if you are doing well in these evaluations. Suspension and dismissal. If you get an F during the quarter, you are on probation. You will be given suspension or even dismissal from the program. You will be suspended if you fail to achieve a minimum of 80% attendance. Also, any action that violates the code of conduct and/or policy or state/federal law can be suspended or dismissed. Let's go over the important responsibilities of an international student studying in the United States. Always keep your documents valid. Your passport, visa, and I-20. All these documents are very important, so please keep them safe and valid. Get an endorsement from DSO or PDSO when traveling out of the U.S. When you travel outside of the U.S. you must get your I-20 endorsed for travel. This shows that the school is aware of your travel plans and endorses them. Without the signature from your DSO, you may have problems returning back to the United States. Check Populi frequently. Populi is your online academic management platform where you can access and track your grades, attendance, as well as other communications. This is also where we make important announcements, so please log into your Populi regularly if not daily to check and keep your records accurately. Keep deadlines. Registrations, tuition payments, transfer requests, and vacation. See the academic calendar. There are a few important deadlines each quarter, so you must be aware of them, so you are able to travel or transfer on time and avoid paying any penalty for late registration and things. Make satisfactory academic progress. Prepare learning materials. We mentioned this many times, but you must have your textbooks for your classes by the second week, otherwise you will be marked absent. Now, we will review the important responsibilities for F1 students once again. Must enroll as full-time. You are all a full-time international student. There is no such thing as a part-time international student. This means that your first priority has to be school. Attendance. Once again, you must maintain at least 80% attendance. Making satisfying academic progress is important. And never, ever work anywhere except on campus without work authorization. You are not allowed to work anywhere in the United States other than on campus as an international student. International students can work up to 20 hours per week on campus. On-campus employment opportunities will be offered to all students. Alright, registration. This is when you register for your program and classes each term. You must make tuition payments on time. It should be completed in full before or by the given date. The registration fee is $80 each quarter. If you register after the deadline, there will be a $25 late registration fee. Also, there will be a late tuition payment penalty of $200 if you pay after the deadline. So, make sure you make payments on time. There will be a 15% tuition discount if you pay for full academic year tuition in advance. Also, if you refer a student to us, you will get $200 tuition credit. Please make sure he or she submits your name in the application and pay the tuition in full. Registration must be done no later than the 10th week of the quarter. Check academic calendar for deadlines. Also, tuition payment must be paid in full no later than the 10th week of the quarter. Transfer policy. This is about what it takes to transfer to another program or school. As an international student, as long as you are in good academic standing with your grades, attendances, and tuition payment, you can transfer to other programs or other schools. In order to be eligible for transfer, you must follow these policy guidelines. A minimum of 80% attendance is required. You must resolve any financial obligations with Ivy. Submit the Ivy withdrawal form along with acceptance letter and transfer verification form from your new school at the end of the 10th week of the quarter. A student cannot transfer out of the program following their vacation session. However, withdrawals with terminated status are permitted. This means your I-20 and F-1 status will be cancelled. A student on probation who wishes to transfer will not be able to transfer in good standing. However, he or she may transfer through a terminated status. Vacation, also known as annual vacation. Students are qualified to take their annual vacation upon completion of 3 consecutive quarters of instruction within the program. If a student is planning to go on annual vacation, the student must pay the tuition and register for the following quarter prior to taking their annual vacation leave. According to SEVIS guidelines, an F1 student at an academic institution is considered to be in status during the annual vacation, if the student is eligible and intends to register for the following term. Also, please note that students cannot take a vacation in their final quarter. Populi. Populi is a web-based school management software used by Ivy College. You will be able to track your attendance and grades, submit assignments, take tests, check schedules, and more in Populi. All school announcements will be posted on Populi. Please make sure to log in frequently. All communications, attendance status, important announcements, important due dates, library access, communications with Ivy faculty and staff. At the end of this orientation, we will show you how you can access all this on Populi. As we ran over what Populi is in our previous slides, it is our learning management platform that you will check daily for any announcements, academic records, courses, and much more. To log into Populi, go to icc.populiweb.com. Favorite this page for easy access by clicking the star button. Type your username and password to log in. When you log into this main page, you will see the call dashboard. On the dashboard you will be able to see links, alerts, school announcements, events, and courses. Take your time to browse each section on Populi to get familiar with all functions that it's offering. Ivy School Email. This is extremely important. So please pay attention to this section carefully. After our orientation today, you should receive 2 emails from us to set up your school email account. The first email contains your student information including your Populi username, Populi website, student ID, your new school email address, and instructions for setting up your account. The second email you will receive it's from Google Workspace to set up a password to set up your school email account. This is different from login to Populi. We use Gmail for school email accounts. So, ensure you have access to your school email account both on your phone and computer to avoid missing any important email from your school. Until you graduate, all school announcements and important emails will be sent to your school email. As a student, it is your responsibility to ensure you have access to your school email and check it frequently. If you have any questions or need assistance, please email to info@ivy.edu. We also have a library on campus where you can access various textbooks and learning resources. Library is currently open from Tuesday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you have any questions about accessing library, you can contact our librarian Steve at library@ivy.edu. That's the end of our orientation today. Thank you for your time and attention.